In this video, we are going to walk through a grid journal together. I'm going to explain my thought process as I fill in these blocks. So I started with a layer of acrylic light purple paint, and I used a dry brush technique to fill in some of the squares. Most of them have at least a little layer of the purple as a base. Typically I use watercolors, but I'm trying to push myself to try different mediums. After that, I took some of my Tombow dual tip pens and I started to make thick lines to build up the background. You can see I'm focusing on a green and purple color palette, just one that I thought of and went with it. After that, I drew some shapes with the Micron pen. I think the Micron pen adds a great layer of texture and depth, and I always try to include Micron in my grids. I encourage you to draw from real life and actual subjects that you see to add just another layer of detail into your grids. Then I introduced my acrylic Posca pens. And again, I was in the realm of the greens, and so I have this greenish blue turquoise color that I included in my background. The biggest thing that makes grid journals successful is just the different amount of mediums that you use. So I added in oil pastels, which you can see on the right of my sketchbook right there. And again, went with the greens and purples. I don't have a large supply of different values of my oil pastels, so I just used what I had on hand. I jumped back into the Posca acrylic marker pens and added some purple values to that. I really like adding in a good amount of large and small details, just adds more interest, keeps the viewer's attention. And so I added these black and white dots. White is what you see right now, but you'll see later on I will be adding in black dots. For here, I usually include, my kids call this an ant pattern, but after I did it, I did not like it. So I went ahead and covered it up. And then I tried to rebuild kind of that base layer and create something from a complete restart, building up the layers of Micron pen as well as Posca and Tombow. Here are those black dots that I was talking about. I try not to go over maybe like 6 or 7 colors. I honestly haven't counted these, but I'm guessing that's about how much I have. I personally like to keep it in the same color family, plus black and white, just to keep it more uniform. You can decide whatever you would like when it comes to your color palette, but I think if you keep it in the same color family, it tends to be more successful. I added in a few more brush strokes of the oil pastels to add a little bit more texture and depth. And then I moved on to one last detail in Micron pen, and there's my end product. If you would like to check out some more of my grid videos, go ahead and check out this one right here with bright colors.